Welcome to Celebrity Investing, your go-to source for insights, tips, and updates on navigating the exciting landscape of personal and global finance. Please like, share, and subscribe for more exclusive content. This is part 1 of Understanding Impact Metrics: how to measure what truly matters. How do you know if your efforts are actually making a difference? That's where impact metrics step in. They help you measure progress, assess outcomes, and understand if your initiatives are meeting their goals. Whether you're running a business, managing a project, or leading a nonprofit, tracking the right metrics is key. Without them, it's easy to miss what's working or what's not. In this video, we'll explore why these measurements matter and how they can guide better decisions. What are impact metrics? Impact metrics are tools used to evaluate the success and influence of a program, project, or initiative. Unlike general performance metrics, which might track input or process, impact metrics focus on outcomes. They measure actual results and the difference that actions create. They help organizations quantify effects that matter to their mission, values, or goals. Whether it's improving lives, reducing environmental harm, or increasing economic opportunities, these metrics are designed to show change in meaningful ways. Key characteristics of impact metrics. Not all metrics are created equal, and impact metrics stand out because they meet specific criteria. If a metric is going to truly reflect impact, it needs to have these key characteristics. Relevance. The metric should align with the goals of your project or organization. If the objective is to reduce carbon emissions, tracking recycling participation might not directly demonstrate impact. Specificity. Vague data can't tell a clear story. Impact metrics should zoom in on measurable elements. Think percentage decrease in energy use versus general environmental improvements. Actionability. A good impact metric doesn't just sit in a report, it inspires decisions. Metrics should help stakeholders identify what's working and what adjustments are needed. Time-bound. Measuring change requires a time frame. Are you tracking progress over months, quarters, or years? Timeframes bring focus to results. Stakeholder relevance. The metric must make sense to those relying on it. Whether it's investors, employees, or the public, the data should be meaningful to their concerns. Impact metrics are like a compass. They offer direction and clarity about whether your efforts are on the right track. Examples of common impact metrics. Impact metrics can vary widely depending on the context. Businesses, nonprofits, and governments all rely on them, but the focus shifts based on industry or field. Here's a breakdown of common examples. Environmental impact. Tons of CO2 emissions reduced. Percentage of energy sourced from renewables. Gallons of water saved annually. Social impact. Literacy rates in a target population. Percentage of patients receiving life-saving treatments. Number of individuals lifted out of poverty through job programs. Economic impact. Growth in local small business funding. Total job created in underserved areas. Percentage increase in household income for beneficiaries. Each metric tells a specific story. For example, reducing CO2 emissions doesn't just impact the environment, it may also improve public health or save money on energy costs. Metrics often interconnect, reflecting a broader picture of impact. Why impact metrics matter? Why should anyone care about tracking impact metrics? Because they're more than numbers, they're tools to build trust, credibility, and accountability. Here's why these metrics are essential for different stakeholders. For organizations, metrics provide a way to prove progress. They give leadership teams data to evaluate whether projects are achieving desired outcomes. Without this data, making informed decisions becomes guesswork. For investors, today's investors don't just look at profit margins, they care about social and environmental outcomes too. Impact metrics offer the transparency investors need to evaluate whether their money is driving positive change. For communities are often the ones feeling the real effects of an initiative. Metrics show whether promises made to communities, such as better education or cleaner air, are actually being kept. Think of impact metrics as the results section of a project. A funder doesn't want to hear what you attempted, they want to know what worked. They answer the fundamental question: did this make a difference? Without metrics, it's impossible to separate effort from actual outcomes. They don't just help you see where you've been, they act as a guide for where you need to go next. How to measure impact effectively. Measuring impact is more than just tracking numbers, it's about understanding the change your work creates. It requires a strategic approach to ensure your data tells the right story. By starting with clear goals, using the best tools, and applying solid data methods, you can confidently evaluate your results. Below, we break down the essential steps to measure impact effectively. Establishing clear goals and objectives. Before you can measure anything, you need to know what you're measuring. Clearly defined goals and objectives are the foundation of effective impact measurement. Without them, it's like trying to navigate without a map. You won't know if you're heading in the right direction. Ask yourself, what are you trying to achieve? Are you improving educational outcomes, reducing pollution, or boosting job opportunities? Be as specific as possible. Vague goals like helping people or making a difference are hard to measure. Instead, focus on results you can quantify or observe, such as increasing student literacy rates by 20% within a year or reducing community energy use by 15%. To clarify your goals, write down specific outcomes. What does success look like? Break objectives into measurable pieces. Instead of saying, reduce poverty, consider, increase the number of families earning above the poverty line by 30%, align with stakeholders. Ensure your team, funders, and community are on the same page about what impact means for your initiative. Having clear goals keeps your efforts focused and ensures your metrics will track progress that actually matters. Selecting the right tools for measurement. Once your goals are defined, it's time to choose the tools and frameworks that best fit your needs. Think of tools as the lens through which you measure impact. They should provide clarity and focus, not muddy the picture. The right approach depends on your project's complexity, resources, and field of work. Here are some popular tools and frameworks. Theory of change, TALK, maps out the relationship between your activities, outputs, outcomes, and long-term impact. It's perfect for visualizing how your efforts lead to change. Social return on investment, SROI, assigns a financial value to your impact, comparing the value created with the investment made. Ideal for communicating value to investors or funders. Logic models provides a step-by-step plan linking inputs, activities, outputs, and intended results. It works well for projects needing a structured, linear evaluation. The right tool depends on your audience too. For internal teams, a logic model might work best for actionable insights. For funders, SROI can demonstrate value in economic terms. Avoid overcomplicating things. Select tools that stakeholders can easily understand and use. Data collection and analysis strategies. Gathering accurate and reliable data is the cornerstone of measuring impact. This step ensures that your metrics reflect reality, not guesswork. But how do you collect the right data without wasting time or effort? Start with these best practices. Choose relevant data sources. Will you rely on surveys, interviews, observations, or public records? Ensure the method fits the metric you're tracking. Sample strategically. If surveying a massive group isn't feasible, use a representative sample to get accurate insights. For example, if you're working in a school district, survey students from a mix of grades and schools. Use clear and consistent methods. Define terms and processes upfront, so everyone collects data the same way. Inconsistent methods can skew results. Once you've collected the data, focus on analysis. Here are tips to keep it effective. Clean your data. Check for errors or inconsistencies before diving into analysis. Garbage in, garbage out. Look for patterns and trends. Does your data show improvement over time? Are certain groups or areas impacted more than others? Compare against benchmarks. Measure progress against industry standards, past performance, or baseline data. Tools such as spreadsheets, statistical software, or visualization platforms can help make sense of your numbers. And remember, data tells a story. Look beyond the surface to understand deeper insights about the impact you're creating. By following these steps, you're not just measuring results, you're building a stronger foundation for future decisions. Stay tuned and continue to watch our videos to gain valuable insights into the world of finance. Subscribe, like, and share to continue your journey to financial success.